now let's talk to Dominic Andre. She is the China expert of Wallonie Tourisme, so responsible for the southern French-speaking part of Belgium. And she will tell us something very interesting about developing new thematic routes for Chinese travelers as a way to develop new offers for the Chinese market. So Dominic, thank you so much for being with us today. And I know you have been working for the Chinese market for at least 10 years, very intensively, and you have collected a lot of practical experiences. And you're so kind to share some of them with us today. So again, let us start with a brief introduction. Please tell us a bit about yourself, your connection with China, and your work with Wallonie Tourisme, and what Wallonie Tourisme is doing in Belgium and in China as well.
Ni hao, my name is Dominic Andre. I'm working for Wallonie Belgique Tourisme. It's the southern part of Belgium. I'm in charge of all the non-European markets, but my focus is on China, and I'm doing this for more than 10 years. So now we are very lucky because we have an office also in China with 2 members of personnel. What's very important is that they are my eyes and my ears on the Chinese market. It's very, very important to have someone over there to learn about the latest trends and to adapt the products. So Wallonie Belgique Tourisme, both offices in Belgium and in China, Beijing.
Okay, thank you very much. So can you give us some examples of the China-related activities Wallonie has been doing over the past few years, and how you use different tools like networking, social media marketing, participating in fairs in China, etc. So what activities have you been doing?
I think it's very important to make the difference of what we are doing in Belgium and in China. Yet the actions are part of an action plan, and together we are promoting the destination in the best way we can. So in Belgium, for instance, the most important is the networking with the Chinese living here, be it the press, be it the embassy. They are the ambassadors of their country here in Belgium, and it's important to have their feel about what we are doing. And so, for instance, when we want to promote a new destination, I take the journalist to that spot, and if they like it, then I say, okay, we can promote it on the Chinese market. Also, it's very important to make China known what Wallonie is about, because our part is the less well-known of Belgium. It's Belgium's best secret. So our destination is southern Belgium, and it's a beautiful place where there is a lot of greenery, a lot of castles, of rivers. And what we promote now, it's a green destination with blue sky. Very, very important for the Chinese market. And so to promote the destination, the embassy can also help us. When there are important people coming from China, we take them to southern Belgium, and that's a way also of promoting it. In China, my colleagues, their main goal is first to go and visit the tour operators, the travel agencies, and to tell them about the destination. They also attend fairs. Last year, for instance, we attended ITB with a lot of Belgian partners, and it's an important part of their work to try to identify the right tour operators that are looking for something different, who are looking for countries who are not well known, for the well-traveled Chinese who want to go to a destination to discover something new. And so we are right in the trend of what's happening now in China, looking for smaller destinations. Also very important, when I started, we had a brochure, we had different magazines, we paid for articles. Now we are doing the basic of our promotion through WeChat. We have our own Chinese journalist who is specialized in this medium, and she's bringing out one article every week about, be it gastronomy, be it a festival, be it the destination. We also work on Weibo and on Facebook, and that's mainly for the Chinese living in Europe. Because never forget, Chinese living in Europe are very, very important. They are in contact with their families or with their company over there, and they can also be our ambassadors in China. So all the Chinese people living in Belgium or in Europe are a kind of promoters of the destination, and it's very important also to communicate with them.
Yeah, I think that's a very important point to make, that the Chinese who are already here in Europe, they can be customers themselves traveling around. They can also be ambassadors of our brand Europe. So I also know that there's a new initiative you're planning. You told me about this before, which is very interesting. I think it's in the field of what's called œnogastrotourism, so food and drink, in connection, of course, with the EU-China tourism year. And this is based on the fact that Belgium is very famous, among other things, of course, for the big variety of beer produced there. So can you please tell us something about this initiative?
One of the links between China and Belgium is the food. We like eating, and so do the Chinese. In the beginning, when they came to Belgium, they only enjoyed Chinese food, but now they are really asking to try something else. The easiest way to start with Belgian food is maybe to go to a restaurant where they are serving mussels with Belgian fries, to eat waffles and all these kind of things. And with mussels, you need a beer. So that's just a Pils beer, and Pils is also very well known in China. But now all the special beers and crafts beer are available in China, because there are importers for years now, and in a lot of supermarkets in China you find Belgian beer. As you might know, since last year, beer culture is part of the UNESCO, and so we really wanted to communicate on the beer and on tasting beer and enjoying beer for the EU-China year 2018. So the beer who is most linked to culture is the Trappist beers. Why? Because Trappist beers are still made in the abbeys by monks, and there are only 11 Trappist beers all over the world. Amongst them, 10 are in Europe and 6 are in Belgium. So promoting our destination through Trappist beer was the easiest way, also not to make the other breweries jealous, as you need really a lot of criteria to be called a Trappist beer. So beer is a kind of alibi to visit the country, because there you are in very remote places with an abbey. You can also sample cheese. I know Chinese are not open to cheese very much, but now also it's trendy in China to try new things. And also in these areas, you can also do activities, not too much walking, but just enjoying nature, or enjoying a stay in a castle, because Wallonia is well known for this kind of very special things. The towns are cute. You have not really very, very big towns, the ones who Chinese love the most, and which for them is really a kind of prototype of what a European town is called Durbuy. You have a crafts brewery in Durbuy, and so I thought it was a very good idea to promote the destination Wallonia in Europe through the beer. We need Europe to be promoted in China, as we are so small, and that we always are on the road to somewhere. Either we are on the road to France, either we are on the road to Netherlands, and we always are only considered as a stop. And so you need interesting things to propose to make this stop last a little bit longer. And through beer we thought it would be possible. And it's why we choose to have Trappist Road for our promotion in 2018. One of the other routes is the Van Gogh route, who goes from Netherlands to France through Mons, and another one is destination Napoleon, as Napoleon is well known, and this brings us from Belgium to France, to Italy, to Sicilia, to Corsica, and it could even bring us to Russia. So you have the best of Europe through these routes, through these itineraries, and I think it was a very great idea to do these kind of itineraries for EUChina 2018.
Well, Dominic, listening to all these stories about the Trappist beer, I have to say I'm getting thirsty. So seriously, my last question is, Wallonie doesn't have an Eiffel Tower or a Colosseum, so still you're able to attract quite a number of Chinese visitors to your part of Belgium. So in a nutshell, what do you think, what does a destination, a region like Wallonie has to do to make sure it appears in a positive way, let's say on the mental map of Chinese travelers going to Europe?
You are right, we have no Eiffel Tower, no Colosseum, but we have blue skies, beautiful nature, greenery, and we have also very welcoming people. But having nice people is not enough. We also need to train them to behave in the right way to welcome Chinese tourists. And that was one of our main objectives this year. It's to train the hotels, the attractions as to be Chinese ready. This is one of the steps we took this year. Also very important, we want to be part of the EUChina program, because this is very important for us to be one stop in the European tours. We know that Chinese still go on a European tour, and to prepare itineraries, cultural itineraries, be it on beer, be it on Napoleon, be it on Van Gogh, is very important. It's a way to be on the map, and our main concern is that Wallonia is on the map. Another step is to really concentrate on the high end, because we know that our destination is not for mass tourism. We really are looking for people who want something special. For instance, kids who want to train to be an astronaut, they can find it in Wallonia and go to Eurospace Center. People who really want to be on the table of a prince or a baron, that's still possible in Belgium. You can be invited in a castle and have a dinner with one of the princes or the barons here in Belgium. They can also go to Spa. Do you know that Spa is the mother of all Spa, and that Spa is a town in Belgium? Near to Spa there is also Francorchamps, that's a racetrack, and there they can go on the racetrack with their coach, so they are on the racetrack enjoying it, or they can also be the pilot in one of these fast cars. So we really want to concentrate on high end and working on what the Chinese like the most. Also, I think one of our objectives is to have kids coming and to play football in Belgium. Football will be important in China in a few years, and we were once number one, and now we are still in the first five. So I think they should come to Belgium to play football, or to ride horse, because that will be next one, or whatever. What we try to do is always to be as close as possible to the demands of the Chinese tourists, and it's why it's so important to have that office in Beijing. So working in Beijing and in Belgium, that's the way we think we should do it.
Well, Dominic, thanks a lot. So a lot of good ideas, and I'm sure some people have been taking notes while listening to you. So, and obviously this is the way to do it, to create different products also for different parts of the market. So again, very, very interesting, and I hope that all your plans for the coming year, Napoleon, and of course the beer route for the Trappist beer will become reality and become successful.